So psychological safety, in your world, you'll talk about physical health and safety all the time. Well, psychological safety is just the same thing. Do I feel free from harm in the workplace? But this is another notion where we need a great reset. We need a course correct. So there is a kind of behavior in the workplace that really is associated with the fear of being harmed psychologically. That's a huge problem. Being screamed at, being belittled, being ostracized, being threatened. Those are things that if you lead people, you need to do one throat to choke as an example. If you lead people, you need to take 100% responsibility for making sure they can walk into the workplace every day knowing they will be free of being psychologically harmed. 100% all on management. But one of the problems is when I read LinkedIn and I just talk with friends about the workplace, I hear them talking about feeling unsafe in ways that I'm like, okay, that's not your colleagues and that's not your boss, that's you. Imposter phenomenon, perfectionism, fear of conflict, needing to be liked. These are people telling themselves stories about, well, I can't say that, I'd be fired, with no evidence that anyone had ever been fired for saying anything like that. And here's the problem. Every single one of you in this room needs to take ownership of the psychological fear in your own head. You own that. Your boss can't fix that for you. Even if they wanted to, they can't fix it for you. You own that. You own the conversations going on in your head. So that's 100% on you as an individual. But where it gets juicy is this middle category, which is, I think, the biggest, most important conversation we all need to be having in our workplaces is, do people become afraid at even the least bit of discomfort? And I think the answer right now is yes. So you challenged my approach in a meeting. You gave me feedback that I didn't like, right? My boss doesn't like me. Oh, just even the language. I got in trouble today. What are you, 7? Right? Did anybody remember the Price is Right rangefinder game? So the rangefinder right now on discomfort that we can handle without feeling unsafe, the rangefinder is down here, boys and girls. It's down here. We're getting triggered by anything. We're jumping to the conclusion that we're in trouble or our colleagues don't like us, like down here. This is hard on the knees. Our job is to have experiences that allow us to move that rangefinder up. To be able to have uncomfortable experiences that still feel safe. I'm not loving this, but at least I know, like we can go for a coffee after. This is gonna actually enhance the respect among us, not decrease it. I'm gonna be in a better position after this hard conversation, not a worse. And that involves asking for people to disagree with us. Okay, this is the plan. This is how we're thinking about this event. What have I missed? I'll give you 3 questions I love. If you know the design thinking method, they use 3 questions that are great for getting people to disagree in a way that feels safe. The first question is, what do you love about this plan? What do you love about this event agenda? What do you love about this activation? Second question, what do you wish? And it's so interesting. I should do an actual study on this. But when I ask people, can you give me some constructive feedback about the plan? They're like, When I say, what do you wish? They're like, well, I wish this, and I wish this. This question is a psychologically safe way of sharing with you what could be different. Use I wish. Third question, what do you wonder? And wonder is where we can talk about, I wonder how this is going to work for people who are used to going to New York and Boston only. I bet you wondered that too, right? I wonder if we'll get winter symposium participation rates if we're going to Philly. The answer is yes, yes, yes. I love, what do you love? What do you wish? What do you wonder? Psychologically safe ways of inviting dissent. And then when someone says something that's upsetting, when someone says something that you're, just be authentic about it. Make it safe to struggle for you too, right? And you do that by saying, oh, that's hard to hear. It's okay to say that in the workplace. That's hard to hear. I was kind of hoping that this plan was already across the line. I was really hoping I wouldn't have to work on this on the weekend. So it's okay to be authentic, but then say, thank you so much for raising that, because we do need to deal with that. Move that rangefinder. The people who disagree, the people who are willing to have uncomfortable experiences, they become the stars.